Right, the President of the Republic is in the northern region of the country, but yesterday President Mahama said there is pressure that has been mounted on him from within his own government to sack his finance minister, Mr. Seth Terkper. But the President said this when he met the new managing director of Barclays Bank Ghana, Patience Achianu, at the Flagstaff House yesterday. He explained that certain reforms being engineered by Seth Terkper to tweak the economy to not only break the cycle of ills inherent within it, but also fix certain fiscal weaknesses, though through those reforms have got tongues wagging in the government, and therefore the pressure for his dismissal. A quote published by Accra Radio said that the President said, "I mean, several times they have interceded with me to sack Seth because he is hurting the politics. He doesn't understand the politics. If there's no money, he should go and borrow as if it were that easy." President Mahama added, "It's a vicious cycle we need to break, and that is why a lot of the reforms that Seth is carrying out in the finance ministry with regards to the gift miss and making sure we budget properly and MDAs follow budget discipline and all that are issues that we are trying to introduce." GIFMIS is the acronym for the Ghana Integrated Management Information System. It involves the use of a number of integrated electronic financial models in the management of public funds, thereby reducing the human element as a means of reducing corruption. President Mahama also said the reforms are meeting some internal opposition within certain circles in government because they appear to be politically imprudent. People have been used to the bad old ways for so long that it's very difficult to change the attitude. That's according to the President of the Republic, John Dramani Mahama.
The new patriotic party, the NPP, has warned Ghanaians who are likely to find life more difficult in 2014 than they did in previous years due to the abysmal management of the economy by John Mahama's administration. Addressing a news conference on the first year of the current NDC administration, the NPP said though there had been some challenges, government could have done far better.
Former Minister of State at the Finance Ministry, Dr. Anthony Akutose, cited the depreciation of the Ghana cedi by 24%, the downgrading of Ghana's credit rating by three major credit agencies, Fitch, Moody's and Standard & Poor's, as clear failures of the Mahama-led government. He said the increase in the value-added tax rate, coupled with utility tariff hikes, will only lead to more suffering for Ghanaians.
All of us know that we started the year with an increase in utility tariffs, or to be specific, electricity tariffs of 9%. Just last week, for those of you that are not aware, the increase in fact became effective just last week. In 2014, every month from January through September, there will be adjustment. We have been told by the National Petroleum Authority that in 2014, the automatic adjustment formula for petroleum will be fully operational.
The NPP former communications director, Nana Kumia, said the recent cancellation of contracts awarded under JIDA, as well as attempts to retrieve millions of Ghana cedis paid to the service providers, does not suggest enough commitment to fighting corruption by the NDC administration.
People have been asked to kindly go to their Attorney General and arrange to pay the monies back. So they have to go there in their own sweet little time and go and sit down there and arrange to pay the monies back. But it is very clear that this JIDA thing was used as an avenue to collude, to connive, to create, to loot and to share taxpayers' money. It's very clear.
Dr. Anthony Akutose questioned what the state is having to spend on the $3 billion Chinese loan which the government is yet to access fully.
If in the first year since zero was disbursed, we paid $30 million. Mr. President, thus far, we have paid $54 million of commitment fees. $54 million, approximately about 115 million Ghana cedis, just for undisbursed balances. I'm not talking about I haven't even talked about the upfront fees that we've paid and other fees that we've had to pay.
Other key figures present at the event include former MP for Asokwa, Maxwell Kofi Juma, and MP for Ablekuma West, Eslawusu Ekufu.
Let's do more now. What should have been a trade fair center for the exhibition of products for the Tema metropolis is now a market. But the Tema Assembly insists the Millennium Trade and Industrial Fair site, though not being used now, has not been totally abandoned.
Located at Bachona on the Spinkters Road, the last time the Millennium Trade and Industrial Trade Fair site, popularly known as Texpo, held an exhibition fair was in 1999. The plan was to develop the facility into a place where industries in Tema would be able to showcase their products, but the site has not been active for over a decade. The Metropolitan Chief Executive, Isaac Odampton, explains development of the facility has stalled for years due to ongoing land litigation.
Just a little challenge along the line where the land had issues with litigations from one of the traditional authorities, but I think very soon that will be determined and the plan would be on track. Once it's in court, we can talk about that, but it looks good for us as an assembly, and the assurance is that we will definitely develop the Texpo into that one-stop first-class shopping center.
According to the mayor, the market covers a small portion of the land and would be relocated to a permanent area once development of the site starts. The market, which started in August 2003, was initially established as a farmers' market.
It was meant for farmers to come and sell directly to consumers. But as time goes on, the idea has been defeated. So it has become an ordinary market. The farmers were not able to sleep. They don't have any place to sleep after selling on Saturdays. So they can't leave their waste, the leftovers. They can't leave it. They have to sell to the middlemen.
Though they have taken over a piece of land that does not belong to them, the traders complain of lack of water and electricity at the market. Also, the two available toilets are not sufficient for the traders, who number about 1,000. Sources tell Joy News 2 additional toilets provided by former parliamentary candidate of the area, Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo, is still locked. The keys Joy News gathered are in the possession of the sub-metro, whose offices are also located on the site.
During their market days, where you have overflow of the market, we are making provision for mobile washroom facilities, to augment what is already there. I think Honorable Ofosu-Ampofo donated that facility, and he donated it for it to be put to good use, and so would ensure that that facility is used and used appropriately.
According to the mayor, the land forms part of areas earmarked for the assembly's development, and once disagreement over land ownership is resolved, work on the trade fair site will progress.
Moving on to the Western region. Now, sawmillers and loggers, especially in the Western region, are up in arms against the lumber firm Barakuma Company Limited, who they say are depriving them of their livelihood. The sawmillers say the company, which was taken over by consensus of the former Western Region Vina Lumber Company, is denying them access to their timber concessions. Over 80 workers in 6 sawmills have already been laid off. A report by Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin.
In 2007, the Western Vina Lumber Company WVLC holdings were divested to Messrs ASD Company Limited that was operating in the Tanosohin Moro Forest Reserve as well as parts of the Sui, Suhuma and Krokosua Hills Forest Reserves. The Divestiture Implementation Committee has indicated the Messrs ASD Company has failed to fulfill conditions under the sale agreement and has yet to settle its financial obligations, leading to the revocation of the concessions. Divestiture Implementation Committee is alleged to have gone ahead to transfer the concessions to another Messrs Barakoma without re-advertising the property for prospective buyers to show interest. At a press conference, the sawmillers and loggers say it is against the principles and regulations of the divestiture of state properties, preventing them to promote local entrepreneurship and democratization of ownership. The millers say Messrs Barakoma has started advertising themselves as owners of the properties and has frozen activities on the forest, disallowing timber supplies to any of the companies. Members of the association want review of the decision and insist any resistance may attract reprisal action. President of the association is Da Costa Boabeng.
We are appealing therefore to the government to stop this illegal operation of Messrs Maripoma and imply DIC to re-advertise the concessions to allow interested sawmillers and loggers to apply.
They are also cautioning chiefs in the area to desist from dealing with the companies since their transactions are illegal.
Right, so let's come to Accra, to the University of Ghana campus. And what is new there? From the 1st of February 2014, they will start charging road tolls for vehicles which use roads within the campus. Private vehicles are to pay 1 Ghana cedi, a taxi and other commercial vehicles will pay 2 Ghana cedis, while heavy-duty trucks will pay 3 Ghana cedis at the university's toll booth per entry. The Rector of Public Affairs at the university, Stella Amwa, said the initiative is necessitated as a result of a 7 million Ghana cedi loan the university acquired to rehabilitate and construct roads on campus. Members of the university community are expected to have a more internal management of the new toll collection. Meanwhile, the SRC of the school will meet on Friday to determine whether to accept the new policy or not.
Despite the assurances by the NPA that considering amounts of petrol have been dispatched to ease the recent shortage of the commodity at the pumps in Accra, Joy News checks indicate some filling stations are still without the fuel. Marian Ture has been speaking to the motorists and some filling stations attendants.
Motorists over the last few days have complained about petrol shortages, as a result of which they are forced to drive long distances before they are served. After initial attempts to downplay the situation, the NPA eventually conceded there were pockets of shortage, which it blamed on bad weather conditions in Europe and parts of the USA. The NPA chief executive explained this led to a delay in delivery of a cargo, but said the market has since been supplied. There's, however, no letter about all 4 petrol stations that the news team visited.
Experience is, I think, 2 weeks now, but we are fortunate this morning we have received 9,000 litres of super this morning. Since there's shortage in the system, it will take us like 2 days, because when we were even discharging, the customers were rushing to buy because our competitors around are not having, so they are forced to buy. Even we were having vein power, and they don't used to buy vein power, but because if we run out of super, they all are forced to buy the vein power.
Last week we have fuel, and today to around 6 to 8 we don't have fuel, but the fuel arrived around 12 going.
For the past 2 weeks now, we've been experiencing a lot of fuel shortage in our area here. But today we had some, so I think the shortage is limited. Actually, today we had 18,000, and we are almost down with 4 or 5. So we are on it. So far, we don't have any fuel around here, so probably by tomorrow it will get finished.
3 days ago, we ran short of petrol. But as at now, we've got some, but not enough, so to speak. So I understand when you go to tour, there is a queue. So what you want, they don't give you that much. So we have little that at least we're managing now.
So whatever you have now, how long do you think it will last you? If you don't get any fuel, how long would it last?
Maybe some 3 days. Yeah.
Michael Adofo, a taxi driver, says the shortage is taking a toll on his business.
Last Sunday, I struggled with getting some. Yes, I went to do one or two, 3 places before getting some.
But how has that affected your business?
That affected it financially. Yeah, I think they should bring in more fuel so that we can get some to work.
Some passengers also shared their frustrations with the news team. With assurances from the MPA that more fuel is being dispatched into the market, it is hoped the situation may ease in the coming days. Marian Ture, Joy News.
Meanwhile, you'll be paying more for what you put into your vehicle. The NPA has revised upwards the prices of products with effect from today, 16 January 2014. The price of petrol has increased by over 6%. It sells at 233 pesos per litre. Kerosene saw the highest increase of over 19%. And LPG is also up by 8.373%. The current ex-pump price for gas oil is 226 pesos a litre. The new price will now be 242 pesos per litre. Premix fuel, however, saw no change in price. It will still sell at 116 pesos per litre. So get ready, you're going to pay more for diesel and petrol.
The Ghana Stock Exchange traded 465.14 million cedis in value last year, up from 102.20 million cedis in 2012. Volumes traded on the market also increased from 218.90 million in 2012 to 313.02 million in 2013. The market performance of the Ghana Stock Exchange last year remains the highest since its inception.
The stock market exchange gained a composite index of 78.81% in 2013, up from 23.81% recorded in 2012, with financial stocks increasing from 20.48% in 2012 to 71.81% the same period. Domestic market capitalization was at 11.69 billion cedis last year, from 6.62 billion cedis in 2012, while the total market capitalization of 61.16 billion cedis grew from 57.26 billion cedis. GSE officials say the outstanding performance resulted from excellent results from listed companies in 2012 and quarter 1 to 3 of 2013, and the second-tier private pension fund managers' participation in the market beginning from November 2012.
In terms of trading activity, we recall that there were very difficult macro conditions in 2013. We believe that those macroeconomic conditions should be tackled seriously. First, inflation, more worrying exchange rate regime, and also interest rate regime. If these conditions are suppressed or improved, and we have the listed companies continue to post good results as we saw in 2013, and there is the continued participation which is assured of the second-tier private fund managers in this market, then there's no reason why the performance in 2014 will be that different from 2013.
He added that the challenge of liquidity on the market had seen a great improvement.
The liquidity issue is improving and will continue to improve, mainly because the second-tier private pension managers are now actively in the market. And so we expect that they are continuing present, because at the end of every month they're getting a chunk of pension contributions for management. The key issue for us at the market is quickly provide a supply side. In other words, supply is the number of companies, the number of securities that we can have, so that some of these fund managers will have, and mind you, they need to invest in very secure and reasonably yielding companies. So it's up to us to find the key supply side so that some of these fund managers will continue to support the market by investing in securities listed on the market.
Meanwhile, the GSE, per its buoyancy in 2013, has been adjudged the second best performing market in Africa, and for the exchange, they will leverage on the achievement for greater prospects.
Let's wrap up the AM News. Now, inflation for December 2013 stood at 13.5%, a three-year high, and up from the November figure of 13.2%. Now, this, according to the Ghana Statistical Service, was fueled mainly by housing, utilities, gas and other fuels and transport. The December figure is way above the end-of-year target of 9% government had projected.
The food and non-alcoholic beverages group in December recorded an average year-on-year inflation rate of 7.2%, lower than the 7.3% recorded in November 2013. The non-food group, however, saw a rise in average inflation to 18% in December from 17.6% recorded in November. Housing, utility, gas and other fuels under the non-food group recorded the highest inflation rate of 35%, followed by transport with 25.6%, leading to an increase in the year-on-year inflation rate for December 2013.
This year we have heard about the government wanting to freeze wages, so that will certainly affect the rate of inflation. And we have seen some introduction of some taxes also that will impact on inflation upwards. The freeze of wages will impact on inflation downwards. So we wait to see what the impact of both policies will be like.
She explained that exchange rate pressures over time also impacted on inflation.
Once the value of your currency is lower, it means that you have to spend more to get the same amount of goods and services that maybe you were buying before. So in that case, people will have to, the traders will have to adjust the levels of the consumer prices to be able to make profits. Their profit margin sometimes they want to maintain their profit margin. If you want to maintain your profit margin, it means you have to put up a price difference that will ensure that your profit margin is still maintained. So in that case, people will have to spend more, then it will cause inflation to rise. Inflation was, however, lowest in the communications subgroup of the non-food group, while at the regional level, the year-on-year inflation rate ranged from a low of 6.2% in the Upper West region to 14.8% in the Central region.
So we look again at our headlines. So President Mahama hints of pressure from within his government to sack his finance minister, says Tepe.
And of course, this morning you've been told that you'll be paying more for your fuel products because it's gone up by 6%. It takes effect from today.
And the opposition NPP warns Ghanaians who are likely to find this year more difficult.
So we're paying more for fuel. The NPP is warning us to get our loans because we are going to face more difficulties. Not a very good day, I guess.
No, and the gas explosion and everything. Well, but we still want you to get interactive. 1760 is a short code that's on all networks, and your Facebook page is Joynews on TV, and WhatsApp number 0544-334722. But up next is sports. You stay on, be right back.
Right, now let's talk some sports now. Now, spokesperson of the Ghana Football Association, Ibrahim Sani Dara, has warned fans to micromanage expectations of the local Black Stars at the ongoing championships in South Africa. The home-based national team beat Congo to 1-0 in the first game, and already there has been heavy talk of the team going all the way to win the ultimate. However, Sani Dara believes expectations of the team must be managed.
There are good hopes, but I'll say this thing with a lot of caution. A lot of caution because we shouldn't rush ahead of ourselves. Let's take one match after the other. The team looked very, very good, even though there's some more work to be done with the team. The team looks very, very healthy. You can see that Coach Marcel Kunedo has done a lot of work on the team. We must be mindful of the fact that this is not the A Ghana team. Most of the teams who are playing in this competition have come in with their A teams. The Black Stars itself, most of its players are based abroad. But for teams like Libya, our group opponents, all of them have majority of their players being their senior A national team. So we must be measured in the way we rate the local Black Stars to say that they should win the title when we know that they are tougher opponents. We have to take one match after the other and make judgments of them as that. But let's not rush them into saying they must win the title. It will put pressure on them.
Right, so from men football, let's talk about women football. The chairperson of the Women League Board, Linia Adi, says she's confident the Black Princes will qualify for the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup in Canada, despite losing the first of the final round qualifier to Equatorial Guinea in Malabo over the weekend. Coach Bashiru Hayford and his charges will need to overturn a 1-0 deficit in a fortnight at the Accra Sports Stadium to make their third successive appearance at the World Cup. Linia Adi tells Joy Sports qualification is possible.
Let me say the Black Princesses went to Equatorial Guinea. They lost 1-0 to Equatorial Guinea. They came back Sunday, but we quickly have to go have a meeting, have a roundtable meeting to discuss and strategize for the second leg, which is going to come off on 26th of this month at the Accra Sports Stadium. So we are asking everyone to just prepare and come to the Accra Sports Stadium on 26 to watch the girls, motivate them to win the match, because we have to do everything it takes to win the match. Actually, I feel the girls were a little bit intimidated by the size of the Equatorial Guinean players. But when it comes to skills and talents, Ghanaian players have, the Black Princesses have. So all we have to do is to psych the players up, that notwithstanding the sizes of the Equatorial Guineans, they have to just play the game that they know how to play best, and we will win.
Right, and just before we wrap up on sports, the CHAN tournament is on, and yesterday Liberia played Mozambique. Let's watch some experts.
And in the following on match, the second match in Group A in Cape Town, it is Nigeria who have the advantage over Mozambique in an utterly enthralling encounter. Both sides have held nothing back. They know the importance of the result here, with Mali and Bafana in the first two places in the log, and both these sides lost in their opening matches. So Nigeria, through Raibu Ali, went ahead in the 53rd minute after it was 2-2 at half-time. Ali threw a penalty, and Salami here weaving his way into the penalty area, going down. They won't get the penalty this time around, and Mozambique come away with it. But it really has been an enthralling encounter. 2-2 at half-time. 3 goals in 3 minutes made it 2-1 to Nigeria after 13 minutes. Mozambique equalised in the 20th minute, and now the third goal for Nigeria by Raibu Ali. But it's going end to end, as you can see, so it's great viewing. 14 minutes, or just under 14 minutes remaining at the Cape Town Stadium, and you can continue watching this on Super.
And that was rather Nigeria against Mozambique at the CHAN tournament in faraway South Africa. That's it for sports. There is more sports on News Today later on.